I'm worried Stewart Donald will see the pound signs and sell Dan Neil. Here we go, back again with another video. I know I've just finished my live stream. I'm a little bit hoarse yet again, but it's finished Sunderland 1, Harrogate Town 0. And I want to congratulate Harrogate Town for playing really good football today. They were a decent side, and I wish Harrogate all the best. I hope they have a great season in League 2 and can, cement their place in League 2 and stay in League 2. Because you want these teams more sort of up the north to stay in the lower leagues if they can, rather get relegated back into the conference. But yeah, well done Harrogate. You played really well today. Some great crisp passing, some great defensive display. You kept Sunderland at bay for the most of the match. It wasn't until we made a couple of changes that we actually broke Harrogate down. So yes, well done Harrogate. Jack Diamond's side of last season. I'm worried about the situation at this moment in time at Sunderland Football Club. I am worried about lots of issues at the club. I've just watched Sunderland today struggle to beat a Harrogate Town side 1-0 at the Stadium of Light. There was one or two shining lights, but let's face it, passing the ball wasn't for most of them. Anyway, we had Bergium goal. Wright, Willis, Flanagan, centre-backs, O'Neill and Hume as the wing-backs. Then we had Scowen or Scone and Power in the centre of midfield. Then we had Maguire, Gooch and White up top. Now for me, today was very disappointing on the passing side of things. I thought that the passing was terrible. I don't like the hoofed football out from the defence. You have Willis and you have Flanagan. Now, when Wright passes the ball to either Flanagan or Willis, their first instinct is to hoof the ball long. And as soon as you do that, we're giving the ball away every single time today. The passing was non-existent in the first 10 minutes. It was shocking. It was like Sunday League passing. It was like me. Me played five-a-side. It was shocking. Awful passing. And Harrogate were the best side. Harrogate passed the ball crisp, passed the ball well. We didn't look like scoring. And in the first half, out of the players on the pitch, I would definitely say Denfrey Hume played okay on the left-hand side, but he wasn't supported that well from Flanagan. Flanagan was probably the worst player on the pitch. Now, I know someone said like TNSFC, and please subscribe, that YouTuber. He said Flanagan's missus is due to give birth and his mind might not be on the job, which is fair dues, but his passing was shocking. It was too slow on the ball. I mean, today Flanagan was the worst player on the pitch by a country mile. And I'd have to give him a 2. Flanagan was awful. I'm worried that the first 3 friendly matches we played this season, we struggled to break down a mediocre side with what I think is almost our best 11. Sorry, what Phil Parkinson will start against Bristol Rovers. Even when he changed it around against Carlisle, they struggled. They couldn't break down Carlisle. The only time we can actually score a goal when we make subs, when the other side is getting tired. We was just so slow and lethargic, pedestrian today in the first half. It was beyond belief. It was awful. It was the worst 45 minutes of football I've seen from Sunderland, regardless if it's a friendly. 2 weeks' time is the start of the season. This was diabolical today. Not one player, apart from Luke O'Neill and Bailey Wright, could pass the goddamn ball. With Flanagan on the left, Willis on the right-hand side. Willis for the first 15 minutes was doing exactly the same. Hoofing the ball forward, giving the ball away. It was so one-dimensional. It was so easy for Harrogate to know what was going to happen. I mean, if teams like Harrogate can figure us out straight away, Phil Parkinson, what are teams in League 1 going to do? Your Portsmouth, your Peterboroughs, your Wigans, your Hulls, they're going to rip us a new one. Absolutely tear us apart with that kind of display today. And yes, I'm being critical. I'm being overcritical. But this is what I see. 2 weeks. We got 2 weeks to the start of the season. You can't really get that much fitter in 2 weeks. You should already be fit now. You'd probably be improved. You should be able to improve your passing in 2 weeks. You have to improve your passing in 2 weeks. Because if we play that way, we won't finish inside the top 10. scorn and power in midfield were too deep, because we're giving the ball, because we're hoofing the ball forward that much in the first half, we're bypassing all the midfield. So scorn and power basically had to go back in defence to get the ball to the centre-backs before they wasted the balls. Awful. And they weren't that much better, to be honest. Maguire wasn't too bad. He huffed and puffed and he passed the little 1, 2, 3 triangles. There was like him and there was sometimes Gooch and 0 and 9 when we got through to their half. Even Willis came forward eventually the second half of the first half, shall I say. And Gooch had 1 or 2 opportunities inside the box, but he always wants to take that one touch too many. And Wyke, what can I say about Charlie Wyke is that, like I said before, I know out of all the players that you watch, you just want to try and blow him up the field. You will him to get the ball and run with that ball with pace. Or when the ball's put through to him, get hold of the ball, have a shot. But he's so slow, it's frustrating. It frustrates the life out of us how slow Charlie Wyke is. And not just that, some of the passing to Charlie Wyke was diabolical as well. I mean, at one point, Gooch passed the ball in the penalty box, and Wyke was on the line, just running into the penalty box, and the ball was like almost at the keeper. Gooch, your passing was shocking as well. First half, the only shining light in the first half for me was probably Bailey Wright, who soaked up a lot of pressure. But Luke 09 gives everything. His passing was loads better than anybody else on the park. Luke 09 for me, right, was probably an 8 out of 10 today in that first half, when the rest of the side were 2s, 3s and 4s. That's the kind of shining star. He's shone. Luke 09 looked like he was 2 yards faster than everybody else on the pitch. I'm worried Stewart Donald will see the pound signs and sell Dan Neil. I'm worried Phil Parkinson hasn't got a B game. It's an A game. Centre backs, down each flank, down to the wing backs. Hoofed football. Awful, awful to watch. 15, 20, 30 passes a day going astray. Basic, simple passing. We couldn't pass the ball. I'm worried that this is going to be coming too soon to the start of the season. We're going to get outrun, outplayed by a lot of League One sides. I really am. And I'm worried that he's going to start Charlie Wyke over Will Grigg, because Will Grigg today, when he's shown he can get that kind of quality service, Will Grigg will put the ball in the back of the net. But what I'm worried the most about is we cannot score goals until we make the changes in the second half. That means our sides are nowhere near fit enough. We brought on Aidan O'Brien today. We brought on Aidan O'Brien, who did look a lot better than Maguire for some bizarre reason. But Aidan O'Brien did quite well. He came on, got a great pass from Hume, and Hume in the second half was quality. A lot better second half. Great pass from Hume, and there was Aidan O'Brien just to the left of the penalty spot to side foot the ball against the post to go round. Well, he actually came back out again, but it was hard lines. He looked a lot better, Aidan O'Brien, on the pitch. He did look a lot better. And Wyke came on. Grigg came on for Charlie Wyke, Grigg came on for Charlie Wyke. And Grigg didn't have a touch. I don't think he had a touch until Dan Neil came on. Now, this young lad, 18-year-old lad, and I'm worried because he's 18-year-old lad. We know what Stewart Donald does to the young academy players at Sunderland. He sells them for cash. He sells them, and Stewart Donald's going nowhere. Stewart Donald will not move away from this club this season. I'm so worried he's still going to be here. So when Stewart Donald's still here this season, all he's going to see is the shitting pound signs of Dan Neil. Dan Neil, who's going to be watched by Championship scouts, Premier League scouts. Look at that ball today. He fed Will Grigg. You give Will Grigg the service, the through ball. Eye of a needle pass. Will Grigg made space, came on the right hand side, slotted the ball past the keeper who was running towards him. Cool, calm and collective. Will Grigg looks lean, looks fitter. Looks like he wants to play this season. But will he get a chance? I'm worried. Charlie Wyke will start because Phil Parkinson is blinded by Charlie Wyke's lights. That's all he can see. Charlie Wyke, Charlie Wyke, Charlie Wyke. Charlie Wyke will start. Look at, I don't dislike Charlie Wyke. Charlie Wyke isn't the answer for Sunderland in League One. He's not going to score you 20 goals. He's not going to score you 10 goals. It's pointless having a striker scoring 5 goals. Pointless having a striker scoring 5 goals. Will even Charlie Wyke score 5 goals? So, you're going to have Grigg, who slotted that ball home today. Beautiful slot home, man. Fantastic goal. And you got Dan Neil. Like I said, Dan Neil. Stewart Donald sold Barley Mumba. He sold a couple of our younger players as well, who were promising to Manchester United. Now, Dan Neil's been wanted by Newcastle. He's been wanted by Celtic. He's been wanted by Leeds. And their scouts are still watching this lad. And they will see this great pass from Dan Neil. They will see the performance he put in against Carlisle and against Gateshead. And they'll know every single match this lad's playing, every minute he's on the pitch, he's getting better, he's getting fitter, he's getting stronger, he's getting an eye for the game. And these scouts are going to knocking on Stewart Donald's door, and they're going to be asking to buy this lad. Even though this lad wants to stay at Sunderland, he said he wants to stay at Sunderland rather than going to these clubs. So he will have no choice if Stewart Donald sees the pound signs, because Stewart Donald's short-sighted. He can't see the future. He can't see past tomorrow. Dan Neil could be, mate. I'm only saying could be. Like, you know, we had Jordan Henderson from the academy, sold for 20 million to Liverpool. Jordan Henderson has brought home the Champions League, the Premier League, captains England, captains Liverpool. The quality standard of play we got at Sunderland, and we sold for 20 million. We got Pickford, England world-class goalkeeper, for 30 million, sold on for money for Ellis Short. So what's Stewart Donald going to do when, say for instance, in the transfer window in January comes along and Dan Neil is playing some good football? Is he going to sell Dan Neil in the transfer window in January? Because he won't. There's no way Donald, that short-sighted, is going to keep Dan Neil for the future when he can think of, I can get 2 or 3 million right now. And we're going to lose out yet again on this. I'm not saying he's going to be world class. The potential is there. The potential is there. This kid could be a star. For every minute he's on the pitch, he's growing in confidence. He's getting stronger. He's learning. And all these scouts are going to be seeing this. And I'm afraid, I am worried to the life that we are going to let this lad go for next to nothing, because Stewart Donald in his short-sightedness will do that. We should nurture this lad at Sunderland. He should be on the bench every single match until he earns the right to be in the first team. But he should be knocking on the door of Gooch, Maguire, harassing them. If they're not performing 100%, if they aren't giving their all on the pitch and not providing assists for Will Grigg, like Dan Neil did today, then Dan Neil should deserve to be on the pitch. He deserves to be on the pitch. He should be on there second half. And then eventually starting games when he's, you know, good enough and he's mature enough and strong enough, because he's only 18. But I'm so worried we're going to lose the likes of Dan Neil because of Stewart Donald's short-sightedness. And I hope, Stewart Donald, I hope you nurture this lad. Bring him to his full potential and ability at Sunderland. Because we know you're not going anywhere, Stewart Donald. You don't want to leave the grasp. You know Sunderland in the Premier League and the Championship is going to be worth a hell of a lot more money than selling them down in League One. And that's what I'm worried about. Dan Neil came on. Aidan O'Brien came on. Will Grigg came on. Conor McLaughlin came on. Did really well as well. And We finally got the goal in about 85 minutes. So well done, Harrogate. Great game today. You played fantastic. You got tight towards the end. We had the strength in depth. But we can't do this in League One. We need these players shit hot for the first game of the season. Red hot in the first game of the season. I'm worried that Phil Parkinson already knows his A game. He already knows who he's going to start. He won't change it because he's stubborn. I'm worried there's no B plan. When teams figure out we hit the ball to the left, we kick the ball to the right, we go down the line, we hoof at football. They're going to figure us out. It's so worrying at this moment in time that we cannot pass the ball. We cannot pass the ball for toffee. It's ridiculous how bad the passing was today. It's too bad to be true. Surely footballers cannot pass the ball that bad. It's worrying times. It is really worrying times. I'm just hoping 2 weeks. Look at enough doom and gloom. Dan Neil, brilliant assist. Will Grigg will be on fire. Fantastic. That there was a brilliant Will Grigg goal to go. Absolutely fantastic from Dan Neil. Fantastic from Will Grigg. Well done, Luke 09. Good game. Conor McLaughlin came on, did really well. And there was one or two other patches of decentness, but there was the passing was just passing me by today. It was awful. It really was awful. I actually thought today that it was Dobson who put the through ball to Will Grigg. I couldn't see properly on the little screen I had. So I do apologise. It was superb classness from Dan Neil. So Dan Neil, yes, the shining light, the shining star of today's performance along with Will Grigg. You know, what can you say? Let's just hope Will Grigg's on fire. I'm so worried. I'm just so worried. Oh, but don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry.